Hello there, we haven't done one of these for a while. This is Nathan Wrigley from WP Builds, and we have this thing called wpbuilds.com/contribute, which is an area of the website where we put people's sort of screen sharing. They come on a call with me and talk about something that they have experience with, something that they feel that is worth sharing with the community at large, something perhaps that is a little bit of an edge case that not everybody might know. And today we've got one of those, and it's Paul Cress. He's up very early in the morning. He decided he wanted to do this before he went to work, and he's going to be telling us a little bit about how to use Adobe Spark to create social media graphics, which you might use for your featured images in WordPress and so on. So first of all, how are you doing, Paul? You all right?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Good. Okay, let's get started. What I've done is I've set it up so that Paul's screen is going to be shared. He's got an extremely wide monitor, which is fabulous, and so there's going to be a little bit of black at either side. So, Paul, I genuinely don't really know a lot about Adobe Spark. As I was saying to you before we started this call, I have familiarity with the Adobe products going back to sort of like CS6 and prior to that, things like Photoshop and Fireworks and all. But then more recently, I've kind of dropped all of their software in favor of kind of proprietary Mac-based alternatives, things like Logic or instead of Audition, and things like Sketch instead of Photoshop. So really in the dark about what Adobe Spark is and what it's capable of. So I'm just going to hand it right over to you and say, go for it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So Spark is it's a web-based application, and they call it a storytelling application. It's actually 3-in-1, and there's these social graphics, and this is what I want to cover today. It's called Spark Post, and then there's a single web page that you can make, and then also Spark Video. And if you're in the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, you'll see 3 individual icons, one for each of these.
Okay.
But on the website, this is what it looks like if you've not signed in. I had to do this in an incognito window. So it'll ask you for a login. You use your Adobe ID. It is free. If you're using the free thing, then you'll end up with you'll see I don't see one on here. There's like a Spark watermark on your stuff that you've exported.
Okay.
And once you've logged in, you'll see this. These are the projects that I've created. They're stored as part of your Creative Cloud subscription. If you have any subscription, you'll have access to Spark, and then it won't apply the watermark. So when you first start, this big old plus sign on the top lets you say, "Hey, create graphics, create web pages and videos." For this morning purposes, I'm just going to start with the graph. I'm just going to do the graphics. These are the one I think I use the most, and I think probably applies to most of us.
Okay.
Or for this type of thing. And you see, it's got ads and for print, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and then if I go back to my projects, I can see this here. And so these are a whole bunch of pre-designed things, and you see they've got different like categories that they fall into, and this little yellow ribbon indicates that it's a premium one. If I take premium off, you'll see a bunch of free designs. Take that. Okay, now it's just business, right? Oh, get rid of the premium. There.
Okay, so remove that little yellow thing from the right, and there we go.
So now like this is a free one.
Yep.
Here's a free one.
Yep. Is the premium so the premium is if you have a paid subscription to Adobe CC, but if you don't, you're after the free version, you'll only get the ones without that little yellow banner at the right.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Well, it's still quite a lot though, isn't there?
There's a couple other subscription types. You don't have to have the full Creative Cloud. You can have the photography plan. I believe you can actually subscribe to just this too.
Okay.
Not positive about that, but so these are a whole bunch of pre-designed things, and you can start from scratch. Actually, this is an option too, which I never do. To me, part of the idea is that it's pre-designed. It makes it go quickly for me, but you can see these sizes that they've got here, right? There's social profile images, print ones, social posts,
So they're pre-configured to obey the platform's dimensions. So
Yes.
that, the Facebook post is correctly configured so that there'll be no kind of leaking off to the sides and the top. It'll be exactly the correct dimensions. That's nice.
Right. And then you don't have to worry about what your dimensions are for that in Photoshop or whatever application,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't want to think about that. So, okay, so I'm going to start one of these just to show you what it looks like. Do we have any kind of thing happening? Key to survival. Yes, that's the theme for this morning.
Okay.
So this animation's coming soon. This is if you have one of the iOS applications, there is an added benefit because you'll see you have the ability to have these they're like canned effects. You see their animations to the words. You'll see that. So when you first come in, you've got this is what you have to work with, and you can see design. We'll let you remix kind of this design automatically. You can just start, like if I just click one of these, it'll start to reconfigure that whole thing just like that.
Oh, that's nice. So it retains the text and puts it somewhere else in a different position based upon what's on that canvas and changes its font and color. And that's neat.
Yeah. And then so like you can change these icons. See, I click on that. And each thing you touch is contextual. So I click text, and now there's a text menu. I click on the icon. Now there's the icon menu. It has coffee pot here. Let's change this to like this coffee pot. Cool. Actually, I'll get rid of the other one.
Okay, so it doesn't replace directly. It creates a new instance. And it sent it. Yeah, I noticed it put some sort of indication where you'd centered it and so on. That's nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty convenient. I like it. If you select multiple things, you'll actually get these align tools here.
Okay.
Which is kind of nifty.
Right. So you can put them in the center and yeah, great.
Here's some color things. I can change the colors of everything on the fly. Wait, where'd that go?
Change to the same color.
Must have. So, yeah, you can change the color. That is the thing. Let me go back to the option here. Okay, cool. Also, it lets you redo the size of this. So, like right now, it's a tall, like portrait. If I want to click this to, resize, I could do an Instagram square one,
right?
Or a Facebook page. It's just resizing that whole thing to fit that automatically, and it's repositioning everything also so that it fits in there. I'm not even having to move anything.
If let's say for example you started with that design that we're currently looking at, which is more kind of letterbox, landscape, and you had something really large which went from left to right, and then you changed it to portrait, would it modify the text? Say for example the word survival, if it was really big, would it squash it down, or would it then just leak out left and right?
It ends up squashing the text.
Okay, that's clever.
If you add stuff, so like you see this add button here.
Yep.
I can add my own stuff, and then you end up having to maneuver it yourself. If you're working with what was in the template, it'll seems to add it. It'll move it for you.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay, that's clever. All right.
So I guess that might be a best practice if you maneuver it first and then make the content.
Yep.
into the thing. And this logo here. There's this logo. You can actually upload your own logo and your color scheme to it. It'll let you add a few of them too. And so when you've exported this, it'll have your branding. So if you have your own fonts, it's picking from Adobe Typekit. It's picking you choose the colors and your logo as well. So the things that you create will have your logo. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is nice.
Actually, and then you can come up here and label your thing. And so all of this is all cloud-based too. So it is like, I don't know if you've noticed up here in the top, it's saying every once in a while it says saving. Whenever I did see that. Yeah. It's saying saving.
Yep.
If I let it wait for a moment, it'll stay. So you go back to your projects. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
I go back, and so granted that was kind of an ugly one, but if I wanted to duplicate this, because I wanted another one of it, you could duplicate that and work with another one because maybe I like that version of it.
Yep. So if you've got like a base template, so for example, for me, I have a base template of the WP Builds podcast featured images, and I go in and I change the the text and a small amount here and there. So in effect, I would have a template that I would just then duplicate and adapt and so on. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So you could use the start from scratch right here. And then maybe you're going to do one for Facebook, and then I hit next. And you can upload like something like that. That's cool. Oh yeah, this is I should do one with an image just so we should see what I tell you this. It's the images are they're pulling from you have access to Pixabay and Unsplash.
Okay, so they're all C00 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also upload your own when you click this, replace or something. Here, if I go to here's upload your own. If you have a license, some from Adobe Stock, and you click this, you'll see those appear here.
Okay.
If you have images in your Lightroom, you'll have access to your Lightroom albums, and then you can also store them in these various cloud drives.
That's interesting. Google Photos is an option. That's really intriguing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Google Drive, the Dropbox.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. I think it's useful. I pulled this up. I run this Creative Cloud meetup group, and see these here. I use these.
Yeah.
All these event things. I use it in Spark. I create those like that. I have an Instagram page for a blog that I write, and I use that. I make it on my phone and post it right to Instagram that way.
How are the phone apps? What are the are they actually useful? Because I always find things like that on apps really difficult to manage.
I actually prefer the phone app.
Oh wow! Okay,
it's one of the few things where I prefer the phone app.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's got the same capabilities, more or less, or is it verbatim the same?
It's actually got the iOS currently has more, and then which is pretty funny, right? And that's the one that has it has the animations.
Okay.
And then, but one thing that you can't do from the phone yet is share. So, like, if I hit the share button, you can share, invite this. So you can send an email to someone.
Okay.
And they'll get a invite saying, "Hey, I want to collaborate with you on this Spark post."
Okay. And then they have editing capability. It's not like you've just shared the final image. You've shared the capability for them to log in and adapt the image and so on.
Correct. Yeah,
Perfect.
They'd have to have an Adobe ID also, but they'll come in and. So once you come into your thing here, you can download this there's these formats, or you can share it like this. You can the link will refer to this URL. You can email it to someone, connect it right here. Google Classrooms. I usually just download it and upload it to my whatever.
Yeah, just chuck it on your hard drive and fiddle with it, in another platform. Yeah, that's what I do too. Just end up. And then I've got a backup of it that just in case.
Yeah. So
it's pretty cool.
That's really a Spark post. Yeah, I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah, you said was there any sort of feature that you haven't been able to show us so far, or is that basically that runs it through?
The layouts, the colors. Yeah, this is. So I chose this one here because it has a lot of different frames, and you can see.
It's nice. I must admit, I'm really beguiled by it, especially the fact that it's free. Oh, that's nice. Filters. Yeah,
so the images will have the filters. You can just add a solid color to a box.
Yep.
It really has a whole list of icons inside of here too.
Yeah, what I quite like about all these solutions is, if this was a design for the heading of something on your website, then maybe a template is not really, especially a pre-designed template, is not really where you want to be. But if it's like a something which is just going up onto Facebook, which is disposable content, or a blog post or something, really, you don't need to be spending large amounts of time getting the content exactly unique and perfect. Just picking out a quick template. Do you tend to, when you post, like for example, with me and WP Build, I always post the exact same template for the exact same type of content. Do you find yourself doing that, or do you pick a fresh one each time and scroll through and explore?
I've been making fresh ones and exploring, because they actually create new designs pretty regularly.
Yeah.
This check them out button.
Yeah.
So it seems that they're seasonal.
Yeah.
And actually, look, you'll see a number begin to pop up here.
I bet there'll be things like Black Friday and, Halloween coming in.
1,377.
Wow.
So, I mean, there's quite a few you could spend a lot of time just looking through here.
I have a question. When you save them, can we go back to your list of the ones that you've saved recently? Yep. Are you able to sort of like inspect folders of those, or is it a tag-based system? Can you kind of search down for? So, in my case, it might be podcast, or it might be contribute, or news, or whatever.
That's a good question.
Or is it just a flat list?
It's just like this. This is my whole library of them. I suppose you could get carried away if you just had this for years and years and you made thousands of these. You'd just be searching.
Yeah. Well, I create like about 3 a week. So after a couple of years, it's built up to, 600 or more. So I just export them to my hard drive. So it's no big deal, so that I know where they all are. But okay, that's fascinating. Really good. So this is Adobe Spark. What's the URL? Is it spark.adobe.com?
Yes.
Okay.
Spark.adobe.com.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that with us this morning. I really appreciate it. I hope that, I'll post this into the Facebook group, and hopefully people will be able to comment and say thanks to Paul for spending some time with us this morning. Nice one. Thanks, mate.
You're welcome.